So I'm often asked by insurance agents, what do I need to know to grow an insurance agency or start an insurance group right away? I'm going to give you what you need to know so that you can have the best chance of survival because a lot of insurance agents get sucked into the rah-rah of recruit, 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 and they don't understand the reality, what it really looks like, what it's going to take from you to be able to have a chance of making it. So we're going to get after it. 3 points if you're taking notes. Number one, it's going to take time from you. An insane amount of time. It's not about you just recruiting a bunch of buddies, you kicking back behind the desk and acting like you're a boss making big bucks. That's not the reality, especially in the first couple years. It just doesn't happen that way. So you've got to understand your time is no longer your own. Time is so important. If you're an agent that can't manage your own clock, how can you help someone else manage theirs? They're not your employee unless they're a W-2. They're a 1099. You've got to understand, you've got to take them to the next level. And if you've never achieved a high level of success, how can you duplicate yourself to somebody else? You just can't do it. So be real careful of getting sucked into the MLM culture of, hey, come on, I'm going to help you make money when I haven't really ever made money successfully in this space. It'll sour not only your experience, but more importantly, these great agents that you're trying to recruit, they're going to realize real quick the emperor has no clothes. You can't take someone to a place that you've never truly been. So my advice is first off, become the best insurance agent on the planet that will create this draft effect that says, don't just do as I say, do as I do. And you've got to be someone that's gotten some very big things done before you start stepping into recruiting. That's the problem with a lot of these MLMs that are out there saying, recruit all your buddies, build a big team, and you'll have massive take home. Well, we're going to talk about the risk to that too. That's why you've got to have duplicatable systems where you've truly done it so you can help others. But your time is not going to be your own anymore. You've got to be one that can work a little harder, especially in your first couple years, because you're giving away business. You are giving away your time, which reduces your take home pay. So if you're a top producer, making 200,000 a year doing insurance, and then you're not able to put the time in because you're busy recruiting, you're taking some of your clock and you're taking a pie out of it, and you're saying a piece of my clock is now being given to somebody else, and then my agent needs training, my agent has a question here. You've got to dive into what they need from you. This is no longer a business that's just for you anymore. It's not a selfish space. When you step into agency management, agency growth, you got to get yourself out of the way. That's why I say time is so important to manage. And if you're one that can't manage time right now, you're not going to be on vacation doing nothing and having Scrooge McDuck money that you're just going to swim in. It's not the truth. Be cautious of this. All right. But time is something that you got to know. I'm going to work twice as hard to probably have less dollars at first. And that's frustrating when you're like, dang it, I've never worked so hard for such a little wallet in the beginning. You've got to be able to still sell successfully on your own and then pull somebody up with you. That's so important. You've got to do some crazy good things and give them the best chance of success. And that's going to take you being selfless and seeing that time is no longer your own. You're going to work nights, you're going to work weekends, you're going to give your agents everything that they want and need and desire. That's so important so that you can duplicate yourself. And you're going to go through a lot of agents at times that really don't want to do anything. You believed in them, you trained them, you did everything right. And then you find out they don't even pick up the phone. Or maybe you got sucked into the MLM culture and they're like, oh, figure it out. You'll be fine. We're not latchkey kids here. You've got to give your agents the tools to the kingdom. It's so important if you want to make it in agency growth. And a lot of agents don't see this. And number one is something that really takes a lot of insurance agents out. They think they can take their time off, income producing activities, and somehow lean on the backs of their agents and make big bucks. It'll hurt you, my friends. And we do recruit successful agencies nationally, as well as agents here at jasonfinalexpense.com. And we help reduce some of their frustrations when they dive into this space because we give them the tools and the systems that they need to see in the beginning. If you do things right in the beginning, it helps you have an easier time, but it's not easy at all to be an insurance agency owner or grow a team. It's going to take everything from you to get anything in this space. And if you're still smiling, this may be for you. All right. Now, number two is really a big thing, and that's money, right? You've got to be one that can Be selfless, right, of your time, well, also with your money, because you're giving up the time that you could produce powerful levels of income if you're a top income earner. And that's why I say, like, this space is for those that are givers, not ones that are takers. You want to have a best chance of having some take home, you've got to understand in the beginning, you're almost burning money on fire to help others find success. It's not about you, it's about them. That's really important. The money that you can earn is great, but a lot of places are all about recruit, recruit, and the rah rah. The reality is, you're kind of getting yourself into a position where, yes, you can make money when other agents are profitable, but you're going to make a little off, hopefully, a lot of production nationally if you're recruiting nationally. It's a little if everybody's making a lot. And if they don't make a lot, you're not making squat. And that's something you want to see. You, as an insurance agent, can make all of it yourself and just work 8 to 5, work your hours, hang it up, and head out for the day. When you're an agency owner, you don't get that privilege. And it's just something you got to see and like. If it's something that you don't like, maybe you should be a solo agent, because you can't take people to places that you've never been. So important that you're a top producer yourself so that you can serve others with the best of you. Don't do these bad things of recruiting everybody with a pulse. You've never had success, and somehow you're going to recruit and train successful insurance agents when you're not even a six-figure agent yourself. Wowzers. I see this so much in this space. Really caustic. Costs a lot of agents that don't know any better their livelihood at times too. I've been in this industry over 2+ decades. I've seen a lot. All right. But you don't recruit everybody with a pulse. That's a big problem. What you're doing right now is it's not just about you getting the dollars. You're signing on for debt. So let me give you some simple math to see. If you bring on an agent, and let's say you're at 100% compensation, and you bring on an agent and that agent is at 70% comp. And by the way, nobody's at 70% comp for day one business here in our work family, but some agents do this. And you're at 100% level, your downline is at 70, you make a 30% spread of the upside. Well, if the business goes sideways, you now get to pay back 100% of everything, and the agent has 70 in their pocket. If that agent doesn't pay it back, it's your problem. So now you became a bill collector. You're going to vector them. You're going to have to send them to collections, and then maybe some other things that happen with civil, etc., to go after and figure out how fast can I get my money back from this person who stole from me? And you're like, what? You mean they can take some of my commissions? Yes. And you're going to get them back. You're going to send them to collections. You're going to send them to Vector. You're going to make sure that they no longer have the ability to get advanced in the industry, and that their credit is basically taken for ransom until they really pay you back. This is something that not everybody sees. It's not just about the dollars. You're signing on debt. And that's something that a lot of people don't realize. You got to make sure you got good people around you, or you're going to get robbed by hiring broke insurance agents that don't have the ability to do anything successfully, and then they high pressure somebody into a policy, and then maybe that person doesn't keep the policy. That agent has a loan. It's a 9-month advance. And if that policy stays on the book for 1 month, well, those bucks got to get paid back. Agent doesn't pay it back, it became your problem as an agency owner. You typically have about 30 days to pay back that debt. Did anyone share that with you? There's upside for sure, where let's say you have a 30% of the upside, but you have 100% responsibility when things go sour on the downside. You need to see this. It's so important that you understand how to handle your business, because this is a business. You're going to get beat up recruiting everybody with a pulse, thinking that you're going to make the bucks, and then you're going to get beat with a roll up, meaning that the agent didn't take their responsibility. They left the debt in your lap, and now you've got to handle your business with bill collectors, with Vector, and other ways of making sure that your money goes back into your hands. And it may take a little bit of time, but it's part of the business. It's brutal, right? But you've got to be one that can say, I can smile about this. I like this. That's why I say sometimes never step into agency management or agency growth until you're really ready to beat the world to death with your own checkbook and smile about it, because it's going to cost you money at times. When your time is money, you've got to give of yourself to others. You've got to be one that can say, you know what? I'm going to help my agents have a better day. I'm going to share business with them. I'm going to give business away. Like what I do here at jasonfinalexpense.com. I'll give business away that I've sold to other agents. Yes, give it away. If you're greedy, you're not going to get far. in growing an agency. It's not about you. But if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to make a big spread and I'm going to get really greedy, greed gets you nowhere good. When you're selling policies, much less recruiting. It's a huge problem. You want to make sure that you give your agents everything that they need so that you can realize that, you know what, I like being an agency owner and I love it. I've been doing this such a long time and we've got so many success stories, but you're going to see some statistics as well. It's part of the industry. You're going to get people that you believe in. You spent all these days and hours training, and then you find out they don't have the hustle muscle and just hang it up, call the lead 3 times and say, I'm done. I just don't want to do it. It's not for me. You just wasted a lot of money. And that's why I say you got to be able to smile through it to find success in agency management. Tremendous upside. When you've got success stories, it's like, oh my word, raising a family and they grow up and become powerful and become doctors and in this space, $1 million round table agents. I'm so just proud of our work family and the agents that have just risen to the top. It's dynamic, but there's so many agents that will sink because they don't think they have to sell or stay on the phone or be disciplined, and insurance agency owners that aren't disciplined, that don't nurture and give and provide value and give systems and just be present for their folks, they're going to fail in this space. So there's tremendous upside. But my friends, there's tremendous downside if you're bringing on a bunch of people that are just going to give you debt and you're going to go, what did I just do? So you want to see this, and I hope this is a blessing to you. If you're looking at growing a successful insurance agency, you need some additional tips or tricks or techniques, because there's really no tricks to success. It's going to take a lot of discipline, a lot of habits. It's going to take everything from you to get anything in this space. But if you need any resources or a good conversation or maybe a work family to be able to grow a successful insurance agency with, jasonfinalexpense.com will help you no matter where you decide to land. We'll give you what you need in this space. Remember, my friends, you've got what it takes, but it's going to take your time. It's going to take your money to even have a chance of making a little money off hopefully a lot of production, because your agents experienced high performing success, but it's not guaranteed to anybody. This space is a performance based business. Beats up a lot of folks that don't know that. And you don't want to recruit everybody with a pulse. You got to be guarded here if you want to get yourself in a position to win. Just like you don't have everybody on the basketball team and expect you're going to make it to playoffs. It doesn't work that way. Only your top performers are going to take the court. You're not going to have everybody. You want the right people. So very important. You can make the dollars for sure, my friends, but you're also signing on to debt. So you got to be careful in what you do, careful in what you bring on, because you brought it upon yourself. You've got to take ownership in this space when you're an agency owner and you don't want the business to own you. You want to help give that agent the ability that they can own their business and be the best that they're possible of becoming. If you need any resources, jasonfinalexpense.com. Hope this little video helped you, and we'll see you soon.